Hey, entrepreneurs. Denise Klein here with Klein Virtual. I'm going to move myself here. Okay, so today is Tech Tuesday. We are going to be talking about what is a sales funnel. So I don't know. There's so many different terms and stuff out there. So I thought we'd just take a few minutes here and break down what we are talking about when you hear the term sales funnel. So when I hear sales funnel, I think of two different things. First is the idea of how do we get potential clients, the masses, actually through our sales pipeline to make a sale. So think about it this way. It is the customer journey. So you have all of these folks out there that are potential clients, but there are steps to actually getting them from not even knowing who you are to being a customer. So that's what we're really going to be talking about today. The other word of sales funnel, the other way that term is used is for a specific website to actually turn a client into, or a potential customer into a client. So when you hear sales funnel, when it comes to being a website, think of something like a webinar sales funnel. It's the actual website where you send people to so that they can actually buy from you. Now, I know it's all very complicated. So let's hop in and dig a little bit deeper. So when we're talking about a sales funnel, you really want to picture this funnel. So at the top is the largest part, right? This is where all the people out there are. We need to start drawing them into our world. So when we start talking about the top of funnel, this is really where we're talking about awareness. This is where people actually become aware of you and your business. This is all of our marketing things that we're doing out here. And I'm not even just talking about content creation or social media, but this could actually be any kind of advertising that you're doing. This is your networking. These are your one-to-ones. These are the groups that you're part of, the chamber. People enter your sales funnel when they become aware of you. So you need to have enough people aware of your existence, aware of your offer, so that they can start narrowing themselves down. Let's look at that next step. So once they are aware of you, you've drawn them in. Maybe they're coming to your website. Maybe they are going to your social media. This is where we really start talking about getting them engaged. This is where they start interacting with you in social media. Maybe they're messaging you. Maybe they're following your content and leaving comments. This is where you can start building your email list. You can offer them value and opt-in so you can start capturing that email list. Now, I do want to talk about for just a second here, when we talk about that engagement piece, we really want to start bringing them further into your world. So this is where you're offering those opt-ins, because as great as social media it is, and as great as it is to have engagement, you don't own those leads. So you want to actually bring them into your world by offering them something. So for example, I do webinars, or I offer other kind of information so I can collect their email so that now I can actually stay in communication with them. So this is that engagement piece. So they have to become aware of you. Then they actually have to engage with you, and you start building a real relationship with them. So next is the connect piece. So now they've been in your world a little bit. They're aware of your product. They're aware of your services. Now they are aware of how you can actually help them. They start self-identifying, right? They're, okay, you're a coach. I need a coach. So then they can say, okay, now that I got to know you a little bit, now that I understand what you do and how you might be able to help me, now we actually want to connect with them. This might be in the form of a discovery call. If it's a networking connection, then it might be a one-to-one opportunity. So where they really start getting to know you. They're not necessarily a client or even a referral source for you, but this is where you've built enough trust for them to actually connect with you and see if there's a potential for any other kind of relationship. And then finally, there's the sale. So people have to be aware that you exist. They need to engage with you in some kind of meaningful way, you offering them some kind of value. Then they're willing to connect with you so you have a personal relationship or personal conversation with them. And then if the situation is right, it's a good fit for you, it's a good fit for them, then ultimately there's a sale. That's what the sales funnel is. We can also describe this as a customer journey. And keep saying I'm going to do all of these webinars, but that is a really good way to think about what this sales funnel is, because they go from not even knowing who you are to a customer. They have to go through all of these steps. You have to have touches. People will talk about it takes between 8 and 20 touches with someone to get them to that sale point. And that's what the sales funnel is. All those opportunities to connect with them, to give them value, to make them aware of who you are, make them aware that you can solve their problem, and ultimately get to the sale. And what's nice is through this funnel, you'll notice it gets smaller. So you might start with 100 people into your sales funnel, but only 5 or 6 customers out of that. Because guess what? Those 100, not all of them were good fits for you. So you want to attract the right people and repel the wrong people to get down to that sale place. So, but we want to go a little bit beyond the sales funnel, because we actually want to measure what matters in this process. And you need to have a system in place to do this. So let's look at what is it that we are measuring. You want to know what your conversion rate is. If I have 100 people that come into my sales pipeline and I only have 1 come out, then my conversion rate is very, very low. And we can look at that sales process and say, okay, where are we losing them? Where can we give more content, give more value? What are we missing? You want to know where your leads are coming from. If you don't know where those leads are coming from, then you don't know where to spend your time. If all of your leads are coming from networking and that in-person marketing, then we need to know that. Not that we can't start adding things like social media and content and other things, but we want to spend the time where we know that things are effective. But we won't know if things are effective if we're not measuring. So for every lead that comes into your world, you want to know where they're coming from so you can measure that. And you really want to start paying attention to what is your expense to acquire a lead? What is your cost of gaining a customer? If you can measure that, then again, you know where you're spending. So if you're spending money currently on advertising, but you don't know what your conversion rates are, you don't know where your leads are, then you don't know if that advertising is actually being effective. And all of this leads me to systems. You need to have some kind of system in place so that you know exactly what your sales funnel looks like, where your gaps are. And then once you have all of that shored up, then you can think about, do I want to do some Facebook marketing or some other kind of advertising? Please don't spend money on advertising until you have these basics, this foundation of your marketing in place. Okay. That brings us to the end. I am going to be having a webinar on making the most of every lead. That is going to be coming up here at the end of October, October 24th. We'll put a link to that. You'll see some stuff coming out about that. So if you'd like to learn more about what a sales funnel is and how to make the most of every single lead that you get, building a system, that marketing foundation, then you want to click on that. We'll put some information below. All right, that's the end of our Tech Tuesday. I hope you have a fantastic week. See you next time.